introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, all that kind of stuff, and then we'll carry on.
Okay. Well, I'm Karen Dendy Smith. I'm one of the founding partners of KOR Group, a brand strategy design firm in Boston. And we've been in business for 20 years. We're just celebrating our 20th anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I'm I would say, I've moved from a designer to the creative director, a brand strategist, project manager, and researcher for the company.
Tell us a little bit about that journey, because clearly the person you are today is not the same person you were 20 years ago.
No. The journey started with going to design school and then going on to grad school in Basel and having a very strong design work ethic and really wanting to understand the function of design at its core.
A design snob?
Design snob, yes. Many of my friends would call me that. And then moving in, creating a business where really image and design and communication was at the core of what you do, and building a team, or my partners and I really wanted to build a team that was about a collaboration and move design from more of a hierarchical system into a collaborative.
And as a person, did you need to change your personality to evolve into those different roles and as your leadership responsibilities grew?
Yeah, I had to. Well, yes, because when you're the designer on the job, you have this very one-track mind, and you're about the creation of the message. And when you become the creative director and the partner, and you're growing a team, you need to be able to learn how to manage collaboration and other ideas, and find the value in other people's ideas and how to work together. At the same time as being, my goal was to make sure that there was a certain quality to the work as opposed to a style. So bringing across a philosophy of visual communication was really important.
So as you were making this transition from being just a designer to running the company, where did you go to learn those skills? Did you do it purely by accident and trial and error, or did you have mentors or advisors along the way? Was it formal? Was it informal?
I would say it was an informal process, and there were many mentors and still are mentors all along the way in a variety of different other types of paths that have nothing to do with design, but have a lot to do with human dynamic and sociology and anthropology. And so
what are you trying to say, that business isn't all numbers?
Excuse me?
You're trying to say business isn't all numbers?
No, numbers are the outcome of a passion and a success. So we believe, and I still believe, that success is because of the passion you put into the business, and the numbers will come. Yes, you need a business mind and a strategy behind how to pay your bills every month, of course, but it's about a collaboration and a quality. And if there's quality and work ethic, then there will be the numbers, because people gravitate toward that.
Right. So your team has grown from just a couple of partners to up to 20 and now back down to 12. You've had a lot of experience building teams. What do you look for when you're putting a team together?
So, the company started with 3 women partners, all equal. And along the way, we have grown to about 15 or 16 people at our max.
Okay.
Right now, we're at 12. And what do we look for? What do we look for along the way?
What do you look for in a team? Like, you're hiring somebody, you're looking for qualities. What's a priority for you when you're getting somebody new on the team?
We're looking for flexibility and openness in someone's thinking. We're also looking for the true tenets of what is good design. So there has to be a marriage between being able to be strategic and very creative in your thinking, and not afraid to share ideas and be part of a group, because we tell people this is a culture of collaboration, and if you're a person who likes to work in your own path, this may not be the environment for you.
Right.
There's a lot of transparency in what we do. But the other part of what we do is we really look for people who have very strong foundations in the pure philosophy of design. Okay. So if you don't know what figure ground is, if you don't understand the hierarchies of typography and color theory, you're not going to cut it at KOR Group.
Right. So as the culture has evolved at KOR, is it a deliberate curating of that culture, or does it happen by accident?
I think it's both. There is definitely a when we started the company, I wouldn't call it a manifesto, but there was definitely a philosophical approach to what we wanted in the company, and there's what we call kind of that core spark. Are you a core groupie? And that means what I've been saying, which is about being able to be very creative and work hard, play hard a little bit mentality,
Right.
and sharing of ideas and not afraid to throw something out the window and start over. But at the same time, when we first started the company, actually, when we were only about 6 or 7 people, we actually asked everyone, would they rather have a Christmas bonus or would you rather go to Puerto Rico for 5 days and celebrate the year? And everyone passed on the bonus. We all went to Puerto Rico. So there's that kind of a team mentality and a camaraderie that we've brought through the company for the last 20 years.
So, as the leader of this group, this groupies.
One of 3 leaders, not the leader.
One of 3 leaders of the groupies
Yeah.
at KOR. What's the biggest challenge going forward? So, you've been around for 20 years. You've obviously learned a lot, but maybe there's something else that's still challenging for you?
Every 3 or 4 years we realize the market is changing. What you have to offer and what you have to say changes.
Yeah.
The technology is changing before you can wake up the next morning, and so it's a constant. Now where do we go with our core knowledge of design?
Yeah.
And how do we keep abreast of technology and the change in business and what's needed, how you communicate through design. So every 3 or 4 years we're constantly rethinking about who's the next right person to bring into the company that's new, that maybe knows something that we don't, mostly knows something that we don't, so that the team grows and can continue to learn from each other.
Keeps you on your toes.
Absolutely.
One last question.
Sure.
What would you like to be remembered for when you look back on the work that you did?
I actually would like to be remembered for creating a supportive and creative community. Actually, more even than, although I do care that KOR is known for the quality of our work, obviously, but even more important than the quality of the work is the quality and respect for individuals and people that we work with. And I would rather go down in history as KOR Group was a company that really cared about people and respected relationships.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Karen, thank you for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. It was very nice to chat with you.